What's up, everyone? I'm going to be covering one last subject. Try and make this quick. I had the question about map progression, and the question was Atlas progression, league start spam maps without any planning, out can go, or systematically make Atlas completion. There's been some changes in which one of these is going to be the most effective, and I'll give you the most effective methods. The thing is it's kind of drastically changed, and the reason why it's drastically changed is because the reason why we go for completion is for map drops. Maps drop a lot more, so we want the completion to be getting the most amount of maps, but it's not as big of a deal. It's not as stressful, um, just simply because it's a lot easier to get maps. Um, you are going to want to use tools, and you're going to want to do it smartly, which Xana is one of the biggest things. You can see I don't have like any yellow tiers or hardly any white tiers. There's a reason for that. And you can see the other ones actually still have some. And it's because I wasn't using those ones. The ones I was using was Xana. And how do you use Xana the right way? Using Xana the right way is pretty simple. Just use Xana on the highest tier for each of the colors. Um, for whites, use them on tier 5. Why is this? Because she can give us maps that are a tier above what we're at, so then she breaks us into the yellow tier maps. If we do it on tier 10, which is the highest for yellow tier, then she breaks us into the red maps. It's boosting us up and giving us higher maps than we have access to, instead of just, giving us, if I use it on a tier 3, then I'm going to get tier 4s, and that ain't being the most amount of help that it could be. Um, when you have a chance to complete maps, you're going to want to complete maps. However, it's kind of a waste of time to do it like this. Like say I'm like, oh, well, I ain't got this one completed. And imagine I had a bunch not completed. If I were to be like, all right, I want to complete some of my maps, and then I come over here and I'm like, all right, let me see if I got a mausoleum. Oh, nope, I ain't got that one. Alright, I gotta check my map again and say I don't have Spider Force, so I'm gonna search for that. And, I search for Spider Forest and say I don't have that one. Well, I got 20 on here, so I gotta check all of them. Maybe I don't have any of them. This is really inefficient. So, just by running maps, I'm going to be getting maps, and let's just grab, oopsies. Let's just grab some maps to simulate. I've been just running maps fast, basically. And now I'm going to empty my inventory, and I'm going to pick the maps that I'm going to continue using. How is it that I'm going to do that? Am I just going to throw them all in there and have to pull them back out? No. There's a really easy way to decide what maps it is that I'm going to use. And all I have to do is I just have to basically highlight over them. And it's going to show you, it's going to highlight the area that that map is on. And early, when you only have a few maps unlocked, or say I'm trying to advance in a certain area, or say I just want to play in a certain area. Hovering over the maps is going to tell me if I have maps in my inventory that I can play in that area. So what am I going to do? Say, this is one I haven't completed, or say I want to play in this area. So what I'm going to do? I can play this one, so I'm going to put this one over here. And, I've got this one over here. I'm going to play that one. And this one, I'm going to play. Now I got 3 maps to play. I'm just going to run these maps. It's the exact same thing from the very beginning of the game. Um, the other tips are if you are trying to expand your completion, you want to play maps that are connected to maps that you don't have. Why is this? Because you have a chance to get maps that you haven't completed when you play maps that are connected to them. If you're playing a map that is not connected to them and the map is not completed, then you don't have a chance of that map dropping. The simple fact is to get Awakener level 8, you don't have to have full completion. to have enough maps dropping for you to be sustaining and gaining maps, you don't have to have full completion. Do you want to get it up there so that you're getting even more maps so you have more selection? Yes. Do you want to stress out about it and be wasting a ton of time by every single time going to your stash tab, typing in, looking to see if you've gotten any of those maps? No. Check them when you get them. After I've ran my 3 maps and I'm going to dump in my inventory when I'm going to put my maps away, pull up your map, do exactly what I've done, move around and, see where they are. You can put them all in one area and you can just go over them real quick and then be like, all right, well, I got one right there. Do I want to play this map? No. All right. And you can even sort them like I just did. I want to play these ones. So I put them over here. These are my next maps to run. I'm going to throw everything else back in my inventory. I'm going to just throw these back into the map section, and then I'm gonna start running maps again. I'm gonna, go to my currency. I'm gonna set up these new maps, and I'm gonna get right back to it. Um, that is what you want to do. That's gonna be the most efficient way for you to do that. Um, eh, Before, I would tell players, really focus on getting your completion done. Why? It was way harder to get maps. Like people were struggling. Like you had to buy maps to advance sometimes. And if you didn't do your completion, you would struggle all season. This season is not like that. They changed it, and hooray to them for doing that, because it was not conducive to players having a good time when they had to struggle to even be able to play maps. That does not make sense. The new system, it's way easier. And on top of that, when you do start getting your Awakener bonuses, this bonus is the same as the bonus we had before. So this is just another whole bonus on top of that. So we get even more maps. We get like maps on top of maps. Um, so the one thing is once you start unlocking the Awakener level, the way that you can get that done really easily is, say I'm gonna play these maps. So I know I'm gonna play these 2 maps. So I'm gonna look at it. What do I need to do to get my Awakener level? Oh, I need Awakener level 2. Well, I can still play the map, but there's no requirement on that. Um, I need this one at level 2. So if you get to the point where you really want to be completing that stuff, and you're not just, as I'm doing, just throwing in the max Awakener level the whole time, then pay attention to that, because, if you're taking out Awakener levels, then you're not going to automatically just get the completion just by running them. But if you are just at maximum, just as you advance, just keeping that maximum awakener level and then just running maps, you're going to wind up like me. Do you think I've been focusing on trying to complete maps when I know how I could get one of these maps? I mean, I haven't even been checking Xana
Oh, go
to
on.
buy them. I think she
Learn anything new?
sells you maps you need. That's another thing you should be checking, is buying maps from Xana. Because what does she do? She gives you maps now, and she's really good about giving maps now. They made getting maps so easy it is ridiculous. Um, I mean, well, I mean, she's charging 25 chaos for a tier 16. Yeah, yeah, right. Get out of here, Xana. No one wants to spend 25 chaos for your tier 16 poorly out map, or 11 chaos for tier 15. Um, but I mean, like these ones, like 5 Alks, if you really need the map, I mean, sure, that'll probably be worth it to you. But 25 chaos for a map, that's ridiculous. They weren't even that expensive to buy them off players. But what is it that going and trading on the site to try and buy maps does? It takes a lot of time. And what's the other thing? It can't be as profitable as it used to be. There used to be people that, that's what they did. That was their hustle. They sold maps. And I mean, I guess it sucks to be them because they can't sell maps that were hard to farm. But it's not going to be as profitable, so there's probably not as many people doing it. Plus, they're not going to be as expensive because there's not as much of a demand, so there ain't going to be as much on there. So it's probably going to take you even more time to be buying maps. That just sounds like a huge waste of your gaming time to me. So, um, in the beginning, I mean, almost all the time, you should just basically be trying to run efficiently because we get the metamorphosis pieces, and these are kind of like bonus speed rounds, and we get chances that are blight maps, and we get chances that are nemesis, our synthesis maps, and we get chances, we get a bunch of bonuses just by running maps, and um, so until you get to the point where you're maximizing with sextant farming and really high quantity and rarity maps that you can run fast, this is a really good way. That's your bread and butter because it costs you nothing basically besides the AUX, um, to run it, and because of the mechanic, if you can actually get all five, um, it's like a bonus round. I mean, it takes you like less than a minute to kill those metamorphs in that thing, and you can take this suggestion. You can grab three of each, and you can kill three in a row, and then you can collect up all the loot, and then you can jump out and to clear it, jump back in, and then grab three more sets, and then you're spending a minute a map, a minute an encounter with with loot collecting, and it's a good bonus currency, and it gives you all of the stuff you need. You can get your fossils, you can get your essences, you can get actual currency items, you can get actual items that you could sell. A lot of items drop in there. So it can be very profitable, and you don't have to be strong enough to get tier 16 um, metamorphosis drops. You can run easy maps and still get those and still cash in on those. So um, and that's a very big factor in my profits is the metamorphosis. I had one day that I had saved some up, and I ran them, and I made like 30 exalts, and even not playing very efficiently, I mean, that was like really high currency. I was making like you know uh, something stupid like half an exalt to a minute or something like that. So, and obviously I was lucky on that. My average isn't that high. Like well, actually no, that would be if I was running efficiently. If I was running them in 1 minute, is my average is like around an exalt for the tier 15, 16 ones. Um, so I mean that is really crazy good currency. That I mean essentially if I had 60 that I could run them for an hour straight. I could make like 60, hypothetically 60 exalts in an hour. Um, but trying to get trying to get 60 of them, that means 5 times 60, that's 300. That's 300 maps, and then they all have to line up. So, I don't know. Do the stuff that I told you, it'll work out for you really well, and you'll wind up saving yourself a ton of time when you get to a place where you're like me, if you're a completionist and you're like, I can't stand seeing this hole, then take the tip. You want that map. I mean, if you really want it that bad, go take the time to buy it. But I could just play Residence, I could play Haunted Mansion. But the thing is I'm gonna wind up playing these anyways, just by speedrunning maps. And eventually it's gonna drop, and what's gonna happen when it drops? I'm gonna be scanning over it. I'm gonna be like, oh, I ain't got that one. I'm gonna run it, and eventually my atlas will be completely completed. And I mean this one, I've just missed it by doing that because I haven't been paying attention, and it's a tier 14, which I'm chisel out volleying or corrupting my tier 15 16s. So this one's one I'm gonna have to specifically do. Um, and this one I guess I just have been neglecting for a really long time. Anyways, I hope this helps you guys and gals. Um, so yeah, peace out.